crazy. This has been kind of wild. I gotta also fix the camera now. We had some technical things going on, but we got that fixed. If you were on Patreon, I said I'd definitely be live tonight, and here we are. We're still fixing the technical stuff though. So give me a second. Uh-huh. All right, let's see how this works. All right, no, I gotta fix my camera angles. Hold on. No. All right, that's close enough. No, it's not. I'm trying something completely new. I have not live streamed outside since I got my new equipment. So this is all I'm figuring this out as we go. Dude. No. Hold on 1 minute, guys. Let me play music while I figure this out. Hold on. I've had this one stuck in my head for a year now. Oh, wait. We're getting closer. You can't really test out how live looks unless you're actually live, unfortunately. All right, we're getting closer. We're getting closer. No. Mm. What do you guys think? Ndewo, Diana. Ndewo. Good seeing you. No, this is my first time outside with the new setup. So you guys are watching me set things up as we go. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Do. One more fix. All right, I think this is fine. Okay, we'll just go with this. Whatever. No. All right. So, okay, I'm hoping everybody can hear me well. Ndewo, 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 ndewo. This is not working. Okay. All right. You know what? We're gonna accept this one. Ndewo, ndewo. All right. You guys have waited for a long time. You guys watched me set up this thing in real time. I'm trying to. This is so off center. All right. All right. I think I got it. Yeah. There we go. All right. There we go. That was the missing ingredient. Uh-huh. All right, it's whatever. All right, so you guys have waited a very long time, so we're not even going to nice setup. I appreciate it. I literally set it up as I was live, so and for some reason I can't. Hold on, we're not done. We're not even gonna do the whole. Once we get 10 people, once we get 25, I'm gonna start right away. I'm gonna start right away on this one. Hold on. Once I get the damn camera to be where I want it to be. Once I get the damn camera to be where I want it to be. Okay. I need like a camera person. Should put out applications for a camera person. Oh, my head's sweating. All right, good. Good, 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 good. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Derek O'Fodderwall with the Medicine Shell, and I'm gonna just go ahead and start, okay? Okikekerowa. Alabuala. Ala nne mmadụ na nne mmụọ. Ọnwa na-enye ndụ. Ọnwa na-enye nwa. Ọnwa nwaanyị ọma. Ụmụ gị na-ekele gị. Eji m obiọma na-ekele ụmụ ndị eke, ndị orie, ndị afọ na ndị nkwọ, ndị mgbu na ndị egede, ndị mmadụ na ndị mmụọ. Ọwa obiọma ka jikwere na-ekele ụnụ. Werekwe aka anyị otu ọ dị, mana anyị ji aka ọcha na-ekele gị. Anyị ji ụkwụ ọcha na-ekele gị ma anyị na-aga ije Chineke kere ka anyị gaa n'ụwa. Ụmụ gị na-ekwu na eke na orie na afọ na nkwọ. Ise Odemma. All right, welcome. So this is a new moon. The moon we are under in the ancestral calendar is Onwa Uzo Arushi. Onwa Uzo Arushi. Onwa Uzo Arushi is the name literally says the moon of the path to the Arushi. The moon of the path to the Arushi. This is a moon for acknowledging, as the name implies, acknowledging the Arushi that are relevant in your own life, the Abara that are relevant in your own life. This is also the beginning of a new calendar year for our ancestral people. You will notice all over the world that you're going to see a lot of celebrations of something or rather on this particular day. This is also Chinese New Year. The Chinese calendar and the Igbo calendar kind of coincide. They're both lunar. So this is the ancestral beginning of the new year. Happy New Year to everybody. in the ancestral way of seeing things, we celebrate the second moon of the year because all things enter creation in twos. Nothing enters by itself. And so when one moon enters, we wait for the second to know that we've officially began a new year. So I believe Mardi Gras should probably start today as well. And a lot of diaspora influenced traditions throughout West Africa and Central Africa. You're going to see a lot of masquerades emerge, a lot of community celebrations emerge at this time of the year. Um, and yeah, and that's that. So this is the new moon. For those who don't know, my name is Derek Onwa. This is the Medicine Shell. I teach Igbo spirituality known as Udinala here on the Medicine Shell. If you're new to the channel, the best way to support, and I'm going to put a link up here, is by joining the Patreon at patreon.com/the medicine show. So I have this ancestral calendar that links to your like Google or Apple calendar. And what it does, it tells you what moon we're under, what the meaning of that moon is, and as well as what day. So our ancestors used a 4-day calendar, Eke Urie Afo Nkwo, which correlates with the 4 elements that the creator, Chineke, used to create all things, which are light, water, earth, and air, as well as plasma, if you want to be scientific, plasma, liquid, solid, gas, right? So those are 4 elements used to create all things. Also east, eke, east, urie, west, east, west, north, south, right? And that is the significance of this particular calendar, and all of that is available on patreon.com/the medicine shell. I'm just going to put join the village ancestral calendar, as well as my full research library. So the live, we had some issues in the beginning of trying to get the live started. So this was going to be a smaller live. I hope not a shorter live. So this is Ask Me Anything. As long as you guys have questions, I am here to answer your questions. As long as you guys have questions, I'm here to answer your questions. It seems everybody's pretty quiet today, though, right? Diana, Udo, Rayx, Ndewo, Udo, Rayx, we haven't talked in a long time. Reach out. I don't know if the number I have for you is still relevant, but reach out if you can. Ndewo no. We're going to probably do a countdown to see if we have any questions. If we don't have any questions, it's okay. I drug out the intro as far as getting things started, so I am not confused as to why I'm not seeing you guys the way I normally would. There's also 2 lives open, so I'm actually trying to close the second one because that one was having issues. One was having issues. I got this. Okay. I'm gonna put the music back on so you guys come with your questions. Yeah, well, Happy New Year, brother. Happy New Year, Michael. Well, one day. We had a solar eclipse this morning too. Yes, this is a very powerful day. A lot has been happening this day celestially. So the new moon, beginning of the new year, the solar eclipse. Though I think I missed the solar eclipse. You're the first one telling me about this. There was something else too that happened today too that was very significant. So it says a lot about what this coming year is about to be. Does Igbo cosmology acknowledge aliens like the Dogon? So I don't know any alien stories. The closest I have to an alien story is the story of the Idiok. The Idiok is not even an Igbo story. It's from the Cross Rivers region, like I want to say Efe, oh no, Ejagam. which I mean, I don't know, we're related, but we're not the same people. But they have this story about the origins of insibity, the origins of insibity, and the origins of insibity was that it was delivered to human beings by way of a race of monkey-like people known as the Idiok, that they had to contact in a particular forest. And when they would go into this forest, the Idiok would draw symbols on the ground and then do sign language to them. And they would do the sign language back to the Idiok and started memorizing what they were drawing on the ground. And after spending time with the Idiok in the forest, they learned how to write in Insibiti, the Insibiti language. And so Insibiti itself is a written language, but it's also a sign language system. It's also a sign language system. So every sign, or like written sign in Insipidity, also has a hand sign, and it gets used a bit as like a secret code by people in the Ekbe society. And so I know as much that has been made public, but there's a lot that I don't know. I don't know most of it, right? Because I'm not a part of the Ekbe society. I don't think I can join either. So, but, so the Igbo calendar and China both celebrate New Year's on the same day, new moon in February. Yes, they celebrate on the same day, which I find really interesting. I find that really interesting. And I find it interesting that the Chinese also celebrate this new moon as the beginning moon, because our ancestors do as well. New moon is not something that's like very. It's not a big celebration like it is for the Chinese, right? In Igbo culture, the big celebration is Iriji New Yam Festival, right? That one gets treated almost more like a New Year's, though it's not New Year's, right? But yeah, we both celebrate the this particular moon, the moon that tends to fall in February. So my John and there will hope everybody. So we had a live that was open earlier, and then I had to close it because it wasn't working out. There was some technical issues. So I hope everybody is not stuck on that one still. I'm trying to delete it and re-guide everybody back over here. It says 4 are waiting in there. I feel bad for them. It's not right. Let me delete it so people aren't confused anymore. Jeez, what's going on? What's going on? Okay. You know what? I'll just put the link to the new one here. Were any of you guys in the other live? All right. Mhm. Please follow this link. Oh no, please. I'm just saying follow this. Say follow this link. The fuck? All right. Indigo, I don't have my bell. I don't have my bell. In fact, let me go get my bell. I feel like this is not right without the bell. Hold on, hold on. But it's okay. Don't worry about it. We're here now. It has begun. It has begun. All right, let's officially begin. I am outside. My neighbors are probably going to think that this is some kind of HOA crisis. That I'm out here ringing the bell this late, but it's all good. The name Allah has something to do with the moon, I think. Maybe. Yeah, I think Allah is like a moon god. Let me double check that. I think Allah is some kind of moon god. Is Allah pre-Islam related to the moon? I'm asking Chat GPT. Let's see what it says. Short answer says no. So he's trying to be like politically correct though. So we'll see. There's no credible historical evidence Allah is a moon god. The idea comes from modern internet claims, not mainstream scholarship. Okay, no problem. So Phoenix, I was under the same misconception, but I guess it is not related to the moon, is what they're saying. Allah is not related to the moon. Pre-Islamic Allah is not a moon deity, rather a higher god within a wider pantheon. So it's all. ChatGPT is often wrong. Yes, yes, it is. All right. So let's see if we can just use Google. Is Allah related a moon god? All right. So yeah, the Google is saying the same thing too. Okay, there's a wiki called Allah as a lunar deity. Let's look and see what it says. I'm gonna try to be quick too. Began in 1901 by anthropologist Hugo Winkler. He associated Allah with pre-Islamic Arabian deity either La or Hubal, whom he identified as lunar in nature. However, opponents have rejected this theory due to its speculative character and the lack of archaeological or textual evidence from pre-Islamic Arabia. So they're saying that Hubal is the hold on. Hubal, a deity worshipped at the Kaaba. Okay, Phoenix, I think you're back on track. Hubal, a deity worshipped at the Kaaba before Islam, is often mentioned in these claims. Some suggest Hubal originated from the Levant or Mesopotamia. Historian Philip K. Hitti, I think it's Hitti, posits that Hubal's name may derive from the Aramaic term for spirit. Um, Allah, moon deity. Da, da, da. So I think the okay, Phoenix, let me know. Were you right? I don't know. I don't know because you're circling the Kaaba, you're touching it, you're crying, you're selling the cloth to Jeff Epstein. That looks like worship to me, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. So they're saying that the Kaaba is a shrine to a moon god, but Allah is not a moon god. So then I'm wondering why the Kaaba. Anyways, maybe an Islamic scholar will pull up and let us know. Allah is just the Semitic Arabic language term for God. If you type God into an online Aramaic translator, it says Allah or Allah, yeah, Allah, LL, all that stuff. Dion and Dewo and Dewo and Dewo. Aya is a moon goddess, could be a counterpart. It's all good. Either way, right? It's all good. So in Odinani, the moon goddess is Onwa, Onwa, Onwa. A lot of people, as far as Igbo culture, a lot of different elders will say that human beings, our first home was the moon. You get the people that say the first home was Obichuku. You get the people that say the first home was Onwa, Onwa. Some people will say that Onwa is the what remains of Oma, the original mother that was the singularity that everything came from, right? So Onwa plays these varying roles throughout Odinani, right? And I feel the need to talk about her today because this is her day. Today is Onwa Uzo Arushi. So a day for clearing the path between you and the Arushi, right? But yeah, Onwa plays these different roles depending on community. If you have a look it up, I have nothing to do with Epstein and his depravities. Okay, no, no accusations, no accusations. I checked; you're not on the list. Or cabals. The cabal is a word, yeah, is where 360 deities from Arabian clans were housed before Muhammad got rid of them. Yes, I believe I've heard that as well. Yeah, I've heard that as well. Jashika, Jashika. What's going on with everybody? This is a new moon. What did the previous moon look like for everybody? What did the previous moon look like for everybody? I had something really good happen. I found how to start having fun with working out again. I got a little like boxing thing because I've been trying to get into learn how to box. I'm not trying to make a box or anything. And I got a little boxing thing like you put your foot on it and you can go at it. And I've been having a blast. I use that thing so much that I always end up taking these like really strong midday naps and jump rope jump if you the natural what I thought was the natural way my body moved and jump rope did not get along whatsoever. But I have gotten good as hell at jump rope and I love doing it and I don't even get tired no more. So those are two things that happened this previous moon that were very good from on my end. Everybody I know has their birthday this month. Everybody I know has their birthday this month. My wife's birthday is this month. My daughter's birthday is this month. My mother's birthday is this month. My mother-in-law's, my sister-in-law, mm, my niece, and my son all have their birthdays this month. Look like Looked like stress and forced rest. Dion, what do you mean by that? I'm tired today. Whirlwind couple of weeks. Health change on Do Phoenix and Do. Hurt my knee doing goblet squats. It stopped hurting, so I need to go. Goblet squats. What are those? Chat. What are chat? Chat. What are goblet squats? Hold on. Goblet squats. I'm trying to see what it is. Okay, I found a little short video. I don't want any. How's that different from a regular Phoenix? How's that different from a regular squat? Isn't that kind of a dramatic name? Goblet squat. I thought something. Oh, it's because you're holding the thing like this. Okay, I get it. I get it. That's cool. That's cool. Ndo, ndo. All right. I don't know if I missed it, but would you please talk about fasting and ordinary? Cool, cool, cool. Definitely. I'm feeling led to fast during Lent. Oh, that's wow. Okay, so watch this. Let me double check before I say the wrong thing. So that was a very Isabel. That's a very timely question. Also, really nice seeing you. Really nice seeing you. When is the next new moon? When is the next new moon? What the hell's going on? When is the next new moon? Well, anyways, so the current moon, yeah. So where was I at? So wait. Goblet squats are so so as I was saying, yeah, fasting. Fasting is very common as far as Odinani goes. Um, let's put it this way. So we all are made of two things, or we all have two poles, right? Our chi eke, madu, mo, right? The physical, the non-physical. Before, if you listen to a lot of storytelling, you'll notice that people, the initiation into becoming a part of the natural or the physical world is eating. It was eating, right? Eating. So once people began to eat food from the natural world, they became members of the natural world. That's the initiation, right? So what fasting does is it pulls you away from that physical aspect of self and drifts you more towards the spiritual, right? More towards the spiritual. So you're leaning on your spiritual leg more than your physical leg. This can help you in renewing your let's call it your more, right? Cleansing, just starting over, right? This can also help you in getting more in touch with it and strengthening it. Anything as far as more, it strengthens it, but of course it weakens the physical, it weakens the mado aspect, right? So it's just that you have these two polarities, which is physical and spirit, and depending on what you're doing or activities, you're drifting more towards your consciousness and your essence being dominated by one or the other. So fasting is something that enhances somebody spiritually. Fasting is done for a lot of initiations. It's done for a lot of like higher spiritual things such as Igor Mo, which is like this whole art form of like trance, spirit mounting, all these different things. It is also used in like I said earlier, just like cleansing and renewal and so forth. So it's very normal. It's very common. It's very normal. Like a lot of the masquerades you see, if they are like spiritually enhanced, the person fasted before they went in there. A lot of different things require fasting as far as Odinani goes. So it's just very normal. Power to you. So the moon called there's a moon called Onwa Ifeke. Onwa Ifeke. Onwa Ifeke. If I'm not mistaken, it should be at the same time as Lent. Oh, okay. I see. I made a mistake. So there's a moon called Onwa, and if I'm not mistaken, I think I made a mistake on my calendar. I need to fix. I think I made a mistake on my calendar. I need to fix. But Onwa is the third moon, so it actually should be the next moon. But for some reason, that's not what's showing on my calendar, so I need to fix that. But Onwa is the next moon, and it actually is the same time as Lent, same time as Ramadan, and this was a time of fasting for a lot of communities. You would see a lot of wrestling matches. Is the music too loud, by the way, guys? Let me know if the music's too loud, right? Let me know if the music's too loud. So you'd see a lot of fasting. You'd see this act of preparing yourself spiritually for the fight ahead, which is the year, the rest of the year. So, okay, we've entered the new moon. Now it's time to fortify myself spiritually, and that fortification came with fasting. So traditionally, this was a fasting moon for our ants. Not this one. The next one is a fasting moon for our ancestors. So if you want to start fasting for Lent, that's actually kind of in line. If you want to follow the more ancestral way, I don't know if Lent starts on the new moon, but I would start on the new moon and at the end of the new moon, that kind of thing. So, Odema. Very dope though. Maybe I'll join you. I think I'll join you. Okay, look like stress and forcers. Okay, yeah, Dion, you told us your current battle in the group study. By the way, guys, if you're not on Patreon, get on Patreon. We have a really awesome group study. Um, and yeah, that was hilarious. So yeah, Dion, shout out to you and your continued efforts. Let me know if the music is too loud, guys. I'm feeling Earth, Wind, and Fiery. Though this is not. This is Leon Smith. Okay, cool. Infinite peace, love, prosperity, positivity to you and your family. Duran, we don't want that. We don't want that. Happy to see you. Happy to see you. Blessings to you. All right, Udo Derigi. Udo Gozie Zinulogi. Right? Peace bless your family. Peace be upon your family. I mean, okay, cool. Okay, I got you. I got you. Here in the diaspora, lots of Yoruba, Orisha songs, Cuba, there are similar songs. Yes, yes. So, Michael, there's a lot of music as far as Odinani goes. I don't happen to know the songs. I don't happen to know the song. So that's something that I've set myself out to learn so that I can share it with you guys. That's one of the new frontiers for me to learn. We had this discussion in the group study, Michael. I don't think you were there last time, but Odinala, this tradition that I'm talking about is an intensely musical tradition. It is intensely musical. So even though I teach it by speaking and this means that and that means this, that's just my approach and my style. When you see it being done, it's like a concert. It's very musical. It's very musical. So there are tons of songs. What a lot of Nigerians don't know is that most of the church songs that they sing are actually just songs from our tradition, and they've changed the words and that kind of thing and appropriated it, right? So all of the like, especially the popular ones. Maybe the new ones. Maybe there's some new ones that popped up, but the ones this little clap in Nigeria that uses rhythm for church a lot. Anything with that's all from us, right? So yeah, the Christians stole a bunch of the songs, but there's still a lot even after their appropriation. And as I learn them, I will be sharing them. Right, as I learn them, I will be sharing them. I just don't, even though I was fortunate to grow up in a situation where the tradition was around me, I'm not from a family of people who sing. Right, we're not singers, so I didn't get to see. And then my mom's side, they sing, but they're very churched up. So I don't know. Well, I was wondering if you're agnostic. Would you describe Chineke as a mystery god? That's a good question. That is a good question. I don't know. I don't really define myself as agnostic anymore, right? I think at a point I was, but I don't really see myself as agnostic anymore. Though my understanding and relationship with the creator may be unorthodox, right? What I know is that something created all of this, and that something deserves my respect, acknowledgement, and reverence. All right. Let me add gratitude too. Something created all of this. If you want to say it was a big bang, If you want to say it was, a big ghost in the sky, whatever you want to say. The word chi is interesting because it's not definitive. It doesn't have a form. Chi is just the thing that operates the thing. That's really what it really means, right? The thing that operates something else, the operator, right? The operator. But it also the operator and like the conceiver, the source. It's the operator because it's the conceiver, maybe, but it doesn't have a form, right? So when our ancestors say chi, that chi can describe a lot of things. Like you can you can use chi to say government. Dine chi chi. You can use chi to say ancestor. Ichie, the chi and ichie, right? It's not by accident, right? You can use chi to say think, thoughts. Echiche, echiche. You understand? The conceiver, the operator, that kind of thing. But we understand that there's everything has a chi, and that all things, the sum total of all things has its own chi. So that thing, the operator and the conceiver, because everything has, whether they be the laws of physics, whether they be a ghost in the sky, the way our ancestors see it is if it gave you the universe, you can at least say thank you, right? So it's hard. I don't know if that's agnostic or what, right? I don't know what that is, you know. I don't know. Bon, I feel my spirit led me to more side in that case. Yeah, yeah, it happens. Sometimes you drift over here and you drift over there and that kind of thing, and it's fine, right? It's fine. You need one foot sometimes more than the other. You need one foot sometimes more than the other, but you have to. Both of them have to be healthy. Both of them have to be acknowledged. Both of them have to be a part of your cycle, right? I wanted to be outside today, you guys, so that's why the setup and everything is different and why it took me so long to get to this point where, yeah, where I can finally go live. All right, so I think I missed some questions. Ash Wednesday is tomorrow. Any Nala people celebrating Mardi Gras? Cool. I'm not a spring chicken, so that's a challenge. Wait, you can explain how Igbo. Wait, can you explain how Igbo New Year is today? Yeah. So today is the second moon of the year, right? It's the second moon of the year. And our people acknowledge the second moon as the first moon of the year, as the beginning of a new year. The reason they do it is because nothing comes in ones, all things come as two. All things come as two, right? And so the first moon, if the first moon, like if you're giving birth to a child and one foot pops up or half of the child comes out, you're not all the way done yet. It's not time to celebrate yet. You wait till the child comes out all the way, both halves, you know? And so both feet. And so we celebrate the second moon, but it's not a big celebration at home. It's not a huge thing. You'll see masquerades around this time, right? You're going to see masquerades around this time. Um, you'll see like different community rituals and things like that around this time, but it's not, the new moon is not a big celebration like in other cultures. The big celebration of the year is the universally is the New Yam Festival, and which is interesting because I'm actually that's going to be one of the topics I touch on my next video, or not my next video, my on a big video I'm working on, right? And there was something else I was saying, I can't remember. Yeah, so that's why anyways, yeah, that's why it's the new moon, it's the second moon, right? We also have this thing culturally where you don't count your years and you don't count your possessions. Anything you count, you're trying to reach the end of, right? So people don't count years, they don't count possessions. Traditionally, people didn't keep track of their birthdays. If you ask somebody how many kids you have, they would, it's a weird question, right? It'd be a weird question, that kind of thing. So, and that's important to know because that was one of the things that led to the end of colonialism in Nigeria, is that the British trying to introduce the census, trying to count people's goats, especially count women's belongings. That was a huge taboo. So when you read about the Aba Women's War, Aba Women's Riot, and you run into that part where they didn't want their stuff counted, that's the context to it. That's the context, that you don't count those things. You don't count your wealth. You don't count which is your years as well. Your age is a part of your wealth. Your age is a part of your wealth. So you don't count your wealth. Odumma. I think we just recently started doing birthdays. My dad My dad celebrates his birthday on Christmas because he says that when he was born, his dad was out with like a Christmas caroling group. They're going about singing, and so that's how he approximates his own. The funniest people with this are South Sudanese people. Shout out to my South Sudanese people. So of course it's different now, but when I was younger, we had like a lot of South Sudanese refugees come in, and they didn't track birthdays in their culture because a lot of African cultures don't track birthdays. And so everybody that came just put that their birthday was January 1st. And so you'd be at school and you'd have like 60 South Sudanese kids in your grade. And it'd be like, okay, we're gonna read the birthdays today. And it'd just be like Ayak Chol, Chol Chol. It'd just be going down the line of all the side. Everybody just be laughing because it's like you're all born on New Year's, that kind of thing. So yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel my spirit leaning. Okay, cool. Cool. Can't say you're not a singer. Listen, I sing all the time, Dion. I sing all the time, right? Doesn't mean that I'm a singer. You understand? But I've tried. I've attempted, right? I've attempted. Do, 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 do. I think one of my like maybe one or two lives ago, I couldn't stop singing this one song by this young kid. He made like a Nigerian disco song. I thought that shit was hilarious. Is Chi the principal and the agent? Oh wow, good question. Is Chi the principal and the agent? Is Chi the principal? Uh Ike, can you elaborate on your question? That's a really good one. Can you explain Chihuahua? What Chihuahua is? Okay, your Chihuahua. I don't use the phrase Chihuahua too much because it gets confusing if you do, I think, right? But I think you guys know enough at this point that I can use it freely. Your Chihuahua is your past life self, is you before, is your past life self, is your Chihuahua, right? Or you can use it to say the thing that you and your past life self share in common, which is your agon, which is your agon. Now, a lot of practitioners will say Chihuahua because when they say Agon, they specifically mean the Agon of Adibia. But Chihuahua Agon are both Agon. Okay? Does that make sense? So in Odinani, and it's interesting. So I just wrapped up the audio for a video about Akom, which is Ghanaian spiritual, or not Ghanaian, sorry, Akan spirituality. I'm comparing it to Odinani. And in it, one of the things I found really interesting, this is, you guys are getting like a sneak peek. One of the things I found interesting is that they also have that concept of everybody has four essences, right? So Igbo say chi, eke, agun, mo. They have another set of names for it, which I'll share in the video. But your chi, when you pass, your chi is your chi. It just returns to chi, returns to chuku if you want to frame it that way. Eke is your physical self. It returns back to Allah, returns back to Eke, returns back to the mother. And then your agun, that's your third part, begins the process of reincarnating because that's the part of you that's coming into the world for a reason. Your agon is your why. Your agon is your why, right? And it comes in one form as whoever you were in your previous life. You pass away, it returns back through the earth and into the newly conceived child, and that kind of thing. So you and your past life self share your agon in common, share your purpose in common, share your why in common, right? Now, purpose is not, don't think of purpose in like you're here to just do one thing and you're done kind of thing, or that kind of thing, right? Purpose. I don't even think purpose is the word. Akaraka is the word we use. Akaraka. And Akaraka is like destiny, is the etchings on your hand, right? So this is a story. There's a story here. And the previous chapter was in a previous life. So this is now this chapter, and this is going to return as another child, right? Who's going to write the new chapter, but it's all one story continuing through time and space, right? So that is your Chihuahua. Your Chihuahua, you can use Chihuahua to say your past life self or the thing that you and your past life self share in common, which is your Agon. I just say Agon because it's not confusing, in my opinion, right? But when people say Chihuahua, I know why they choose to say Chihuahua. Right? LOL, Ethiopians also do January 1st birthday too. Yeah. Yeah. I've decided to no longer want people to know or celebrate my exact birthday. So that's interesting. That's hilarious. Dion, why don't you want people to celebrate your birthday? Why don't you want people to celebrate your birthday? That is an interesting decision to make. But yeah, a lot of African I don't think there's many African cultures that celebrate that like acknowledge they do now because of colonialism, right? Or colonialism and then also like moving to the West, like, okay, fine, I'll have a birthday, right? But people in my dad's generation, it's very hard to find people that like know their exact birthday. I think around the time my mom was born, my mom's like maybe 6 years younger than my dad. Around the time my mom was growing up, it became more common. So my mom knows her birthday like concrete. She's also grew up in a Christian family. Um, and so hers is February 2nd. And my daughter's is February 1st. Just a interesting thing. But yeah, but my dad's generation, they didn't do that. And then like a lot of African countries like Sudan and stuff, that's brand new. They just started doing that. So like if they're younger South Sudanese people, yeah, for sure. But I know a lot of the elders didn't, or like not even elders, a lot of my age mates, January 1st was everybody's birthday. I think someone said Ethiopians too. So yeah. Again, the psychology at home is that you don't count your wealth, right? You don't count your wealth, and your age is a part of your wealth. So this saxophone's a little loud. Let me switch songs. And it's also Valentine's. This is a very expensive month for your boy. Yeah. This is a very man. So I just get hit with everything this month. I've thought about this before. Hold on. I think I skipped some questions. Okay, principal agent relationship is a legal and economic concept where one entity, the principal, hires and appoints another. Interesting. The agent. Okay. To act on their behalf, make decisions, and perform tasks. So I guess the chi is the principal and we're the agent. If that makes sense. The chi is the principal, we are the agent. Does that make sense? Actually, the chi is the principal and our agon is the agent. I think that's actually makes more sense, right? If we want to put it in that framework. But yeah, so yeah, I don't think that I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes when you put things in a framework, it shrinks it into that framework, right? If you pour water into a bulbous cup, the water takes that bulbous shape, that kind of thing, right? So yeah, it's if you want to put it in that framework, sure, but I think that shrinks it a little bit, right? That shrinks it a little bit because it also creates a separation between a person and their chi that doesn't exist. You are your chi. You're just like one aspect of your chi. Okay. But I thought we kept track of what market day a person was born. Yeah, you keep track of what market day they were born, but not what year traditionally, right? So this person is Okonkwo because they were born on Nkwo day, right? Okonkwo in Things Fall Apart was born on Nkwo day. Mbeke, Ekema, all these are people born on Eke day. So you keep track of the day they were born. That's even just culturally and spiritually, that plays a bigger role than what year you were born. It plays a bigger role than the year you were born. I don't think there's any relevance to the year you were born. I guess your age, what they'll do is like, oh, this person's a part of this age grade, right? And what the age grade system is it's children born within a certain time span. And there's no real set time span. I think when you live in a communal society, you will notice that births happen in waves. They happen in waves. So one wave of births, that's an age grade. Usually 4 years, 3 years, 4 years, 3 years, 4 years, 3 years, 4 years, 3 years. Births happen in waves, 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 which is it's hard to see in the West because we're kind of siloed off. But when you like my backyard, I can go back there and there's like 200 people and they're all my family members. And like 20 of them are pregnant. Okay, this a wave is coming, right? A wave is coming. And you see that a lot. It's normal. The reason it's normal is because Omomo, this concept of Omomo is the feminine energy of creation, the feminine power. And it is Omomo very literally deals with birthing and procreation and so forth. Um, and Omomo sinks. Omomo has a sinking nature. So if somebody's Omomo is high and you get around that person, your Omomo gets high too. It increases too. If somebody's Omomo is low, you get around that person, theirs is low too. Omomo also deals with creativity, right? As well as like a lot of things that pertain to wealth, like attracting wealth. There, attracting wealth, attracting good fortune. You get around lucky people, you get luckier. You get around people who are attracting fortune, you attract fortune more. You get around people who are pregnant, you are more likely to get pregnant. You understand? Um, and yeah, so that's probably what's behind the waves. Like one person, then all of a sudden everybody is that kind of thing. So the age grades are people that are born within a wave, usually 3, 4 years, right? And each age grade has like a name. And so instead of saying this person is 5 years old, they'll be like, oh, they're a part of this age grade. And the age grades are kind of like their own like club. They're almost like a club or like a little personal government. So if you and I are in the same age grade and we have a dispute, we would take it to the age grade, and the age grade would have a court, and they'll adjudicate. Is that the word? Adjudicate for us and that kind of thing, and so forth. And if we have issues with somebody on an age grade outside of ours, we would then go to a mediator who's not a part of either, and that kind of thing, right? So the age grades also like raise money for each other. Traditionally, we used to build each other's houses. So once you reach the age grade where you're ready to get married, all the dudes in your age grade will get together and build a house for you, right? They'll get together and build a house for you. And then this person's turn, he wants to get married. We all get together and build a house for him. That's what they used to do in the past as far as home building and that kind of thing. So good way to combat homelessness is communal living. Do, 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 do. Wait, but I thought, okay, Dion before confused. Okay. I thought of this before and considered Eke as the principal and Chi as the agent, but I feel like it could be vice versa also. Yeah, maybe. It's not something I thought about because I literally just learned about this concept. So yeah. Wait, I just enjoy spending a day alone now. Usually turn off my phone. It's annoying to be called or texted and paid attention to throughout the day. Odemma, I agree. Agent sends Aghun, knows what the Chi knows. Yes, Aghun's also the Chi sends the Aghun on a mission. The Chi always sends the Aghun on a mission. Chi always sends Aghun to do something, right? So, I wonder if the concept of Akaraka, yeah, close. Yeah, you're correct. Olivia, you nailed it. Akaraka, perfect. Akaraka is connected with the palmistry. Yes, it is. It is. It is. So I have a video called Akaraka Explained. If I were you, go check that one out. You typed it perfectly, so just put that and then put medicine shell and it'll pop up. And what our ancestors understand is that your story is written all over your body, right? There's an ilu that says, Owu Oromado, Kachia Shiekea, which is each person is created, or each person's chi creates them according to their work. Okay. So when you come into creation, your akaraka, your poem is the etching, like the story is gonna be, right? The story is here. But here's something that our ancestors understood that was also really interesting. So these lines don't end at your poem. These lines do not end at your poem. They extend, and it was funny because this was taught to me by okay, so the guy's a Dibia. Normally it's women that do akaraka, but he does it, so it's whatever. It's not that deep. And my dad actually went to his office or where his shrine, his workspace, and he sat my dad down and taught us all this stuff and that kind of thing. So shout out to my dad for that. That was really awesome. But these lines, what he said is these lines go throughout your entire body. They're on your face. They're that kind of thing. And there are some people with a certain spiritual gift that are able to see those lines and read those lines and understand those lines, right? But they go throughout your entire body. So what you'll notice is when they do body painting and things like that, they're actually following those lines. You can follow those lines. There's a thing called uli. Uli is like in Sibidi, it's a writing system. It's identical, but I think in Sibidi has more symbols, right? It's the same thing, but in Sibidi just has extra stuff, and and sign language. And so Uli is done by women, right? Uli is done by women. And what they'll do is if somebody, once they're able to see those lines, they'll start tracing those lines and coloring it in based on those lines. And what is said is that if you do that for a person, you reveal their chi and they reach a level of full beauty, like absolute beauty, because you can see that person's truth, their spiritual and physical nature. So a lot of the body paints they would do before like women's weddings, they would do it when after you saw your first period, um, and then some would just do it just to look fire, you know. But you'll see it, and what you'll notice is not only are there all these lines all over your body, which is your akaraka, which you see them on your palm, but they go everywhere. Certain things tell all of them tell a different story, tell a different thing. What I know is that if you have an X on your head, that people that have an X here, they have a connection to an abara, that they have a specific, that they are a mouthpiece for an abara, right? And I'm saying abara like a damn abara, right? I just I just said that like a Caucasian, right? Which I say a lot of things like a Caucasian anymore. But the if you have an X on your head, you have a connection to an abara. You understand? There's that you're a mouthpiece for an abara. You're a messenger. Messenger is the best way to put it for an abara, right there. X. That's one of the ones I know. What are some other ones that I knew? That's the main one. That's one of the ones that I knew, which I learned that during making my Osu Explain video, that those people who can see those lines, you'll see an X on somebody's head. That means this person can activate a shrine, that they can unlock a shrine, right? So, yeah. Interesting stuff. It's really interesting stuff. Okay, cool. Don't worry about the background music. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Wonder if okay, good, we got that. Just started reading Things Fall Apart Again. Cool. John, how's okay? Your channel made me understand the cultural references in the book now. Cool. I was gonna ask you, hey, since it's your second time, has it been different now that you have all this added context and knowledge and that kind of thing? Right. I also think on one scale of existence, the chi is the principal agent sense, and as it is in all things and is all things. Yeah, exactly. So that's what I was saying about when you put it in that frame, yes, but it goes beyond that. So you got that. You got it. Do you have resources for learning Akan cosmology? Yes. So when I post the video, I'm also going to open a new folder in the medicine library called Akom. I have a bunch of like research just kind of sitting on my desktop right now, and I'm going to just put it there. So once the video's out, and I'll say it in the video, or I'll have it somewhere in the video. Actually, I didn't say it in the video. So either way, once the video is posted, I'll have the folder for the Akan spirituality, Akom. I'll have it there. Okay. Odebma. Who puts the X there? You're born with it. You're born with it. You're born with it, right? You'll have all these lines. You have all these lines going throughout your body, right? Human beings are actually striped. We're striped, right? We have all these lines, and then if two of them converge and make an X right here, then you'll know. But you're born with it the way you're born with these lines right here. It's a good question, Dan. Do you know if anyone in the US who does Uli? No, I do not know anybody in the US who does. I barely know anybody in Nigeria that does Uli, honestly. I barely know. I have some places I suspect you can find someone, but I barely know someone who does it. So one of the things, and this is kind of more inside ball, but I think women's traditions were more hard hit by colonialism than men's traditions. Women's traditions were more hard hit by colonialism than men's traditions. And it's a two-part thing. The first part is the British didn't like this idea of a dual society. They wanted to have one person you go to for all the decisions, right? So they stripped a lot of the women's, especially because after the Aba Women's War, the women revolted and da 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 da. They said, nah, we can't have this. So they started trying to pull apart a lot of women's traditions after that. And then the second part is women took to the church a lot more intensely than men did, right? And so a lot of women's traditions are the ones that are in danger. And then now the issue isn't even the church; it's just kind of like it's not in vogue. It's not like it's not cool, right? It's not cool, right? Nobody wants to be an mbeke, as they call it, right? So, but I think that's turning around. That's turning around. I think that's turning around. So people have the gift naturally. I think if you can see those lines, there are people have told me I can see those lines. Like the lines you were talking about on your video, I can see them, right? So if you can actually see those lines, go for it, right? Um, and yeah, you should that because you already have the gift. You understand? You already have the gift. But no, I don't know if anybody knows Uli. I know there's a tattoo artist in Germany. He's incredible. He does like Uli inspired tattoos, and they look amazing. They're very cool, right? Um, but he's in Germany. I don't know if he speaks English. Maybe I'll have him on here. Oh, yeah. But yeah, there's a person in Germany that does them, like a modern tattoo style, that kind of thing. But I don't know anybody who does like traditionally. I have some suspicions of where I can find people. Right, I have some suspicions. There are communities that were more known for it than others. So if I can find really old women there, I can probably find something. Do you know if there's any? Okay, we already got that. I don't see other questions. May you talk about Dada people? Good question. Can you be Dada, then no longer be Dada? Oh, that's a good question. Hold on. Diana, let me go check and see if I missed any of your other questions. I think this is the first question I've seen from you. So, and then the who put the X there. So Dada, as far as Dada goes, so Dada, my son is Dada. My son Namdi is Dada. And Dada people are people that are born and their hair naturally grows in the dreadlock pattern, right? In dreadlocks. Their hair naturally grows that way. Dada people, you'll know Dada children because it's hard to cut their hair, it's hard to comb it. You're really not supposed to mess with it like that, right? You're supposed to just let it grow. But Dada people are people with that hair. Now, people who are Dada tend to have a connection with mirroring with water and Nemiri, right? Or whatever you call it. Nemiri takes on whatever name of the body of water you're referring to. Nemiri is just a catch-all, right? Mother water, right? So they have a connection to water. Children who are Dada are very spiritually powerful. People who are Dada are very spiritually powerful. They're also meant to be peaceful. So this, if you are Dada or you just try not, don't, military may not be your thing, right? You may not be a combat sport enthusiast, that kind of thing. But Dada people are peaceful, and they are very spiritually alert. They're very spiritually aware and strong. They are connected by water, and they are typically Ndimiri water people. Water people. My son was born on Uriye Day, and one of the things that helped me remember it is we have this my aunt-in-law. We, I think she's hilarious, but she drives her side of the family crazy. She's a very elder woman. She can't see, she's blind. And she's a bit of a troublemaker. And her and my mother-in-law, which is her sister, were in the delivery room when my wife went into labor. And she said that we should name the kid, and she said some English name. And either me or my wife said that no. But my mother-in-law goes, no, these ones are only doing Igbo names, right? They're trying to, right, just be funny about us. And she goes, okay, maybe you can name him Murie, right? Because today is Urie. So we checked, and today was Urie. But yeah, but my son is Dada. My son's hair grows in Dada. I asked him if he wants to just let his hair grow. He says no. So we cut it, and it's very painful for him, but that's what he wants for now, But yeah, my son is Dada. And yeah, very peaceful. He's just peaceful as hell, very peaceful, right? May you talk about Obanje Dibia? Yeah, Obanje Dibia are Dibia who specialize in working with issues that pertain to Obanje. Issues that pertain to Obanje. For those who don't know, Obanje are spirits typically from water. They're childlike spirits. Childlike spirits. And what they do is, in your process of reincarnating, they'll attach to you and they'll come into the world with you if there's something about you that they see as special or that they want. Right now, these are childlike spirits. So the things that are usually special, if they think you're good looking, okay, I want to be good looking in the world, right? If they think you're going to be wealthy, if they think you're gonna, all these, typically if you're good looking, right, they'll attach and then they'll come into the world with you, and they will incline your spirit to behave in their nature. So some Obanje will come into the world and they just want to eat sugar. Some Obanje will come into the world and they just want to have as many boyfriends as possible. Some Obanje will come into the world and they just want to play music. It's always like very singular minded type of thing, right? And one of the reasons Obanje is dangerous is because if an Obanje comes into the world and sees that it's not going to get what it came for, it will forcefully go back to where it came from, which leads to death, which leads to premature death in the person that has the Obanje. If the Obanje gets what it wants, the person will live a very long life. The minute they stop getting that thing, gone, right? Gone. And there's a lot of people, if you look around in the world, you'll see a lot of people like that, right? One of the people, like, let me not start accusing people of being Obanje. Right? But a lot of people don't like having Obanje at home because it's dangerous. But so an Obanje Dibia is a Dibia that specializes in working with cases of Obanje. Many Obanje Dibia are usually Obanje, or not usually. Let me not say usually. Many Obanje Dibia are also Obanje themselves, or have Obanje, however you want to frame it. All right, because it takes one to know one kind of thing. But Obanje that's what Obanje is. Yeah. No, I mean the Obanjes that are spiritual heads. I don't know what you mean by that. If you want to elaborate, that'd be great. Do you think that TikTok is still a safe place to no. No. No, not at all. No, that shit's a psyop. If I ever seen one. Hell no, TikTok ain't safe. I post stuff every now and then. I use it as my like random thoughts folder, right? But hell no, hell no, hell no, hell no. What? Yeah, what? Yeah, man. They signed that deal. Once they signed that deal, I've been getting nothing but we were actually the Moors. We were actually the Native Americans. I've been getting nothing but that. So, I'll do my. Y'all, I think we're out of questions. Are we out of questions or are we just chilling? Are we taking over? Is this halftime? My son is peaceful, Dada. Aldemma. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. My son too. Very peaceful. Chill guy. Wouldn't harm a fly. There was a video game we were playing. He told me that he can't play it anymore because he can't, like, it requires like fighting. He said he can't do it because that's mean, I was like, okay, that's good. But I thought it was more of his generation thing. Because I noticed their video games are very world buildy, right? Like making things and playing in the things you make, Minecraft, Roblox, Geometry Dash, Sims. That those are really big with them. Like they're really big into those kind of things. I've noticed all him and all his little friends everywhere we move, which unfortunately we've moved a lot, but we're trying to slow down on that. Everywhere we move, he always finds a little kid that's just like him and is into all those kinds of things. So I just thought that they're not used to the like Mortal Kombat, you lose, that kind of thing. Like they're not used to that, mate, because those aren't popular with them anymore, but it might just be his nature. So tattoo artist name, please. Okay, let me see if I can find him. That's my dude. We're not close, but okay, hold on. I don't. Here, how about this? Message me on Patreon and I'll send you his information. I can't get a hold of it right now because I'm not logged into Instagram on this laptop, and I don't remember my password for Instagram, and I don't like that app anyway. So I follow him too. He's great. Yeah. So Dion, if you want to post his name, or if you could message me on Duran, if you could message me on Patreon, that'd be cool. But yeah, he's fire. He's really dope. Uchenna Item, perfect, is the tattoo artist. I know Item is something about Item sounds familiar. So here's the name, I think. Right? I think. So check for him, see if that's the person. If not, then it's all good. I'm gonna put my music back on. I was really in the zone. I follow him. I think he's great. I think I miss. Okay, I think you miss Brule's question. Also, I have an interesting one too. Okay, let's find this question. Can you post a question about birthmarks again? I wish I can. The song was very saxophony or trumpety, so I had to turn it down. Okay, let's go back. I missed a lot of questions, so I'm pulling back up. Let me see if I can see Brule's. Ask the question again, please. Thank you. Last I saw was that the sun was a Dada. Are you going to do another politics stream? I'm gonna try not to. I'm gonna try not to. If I do a politics stream, it's not because I planned on it. It's because somebody pissed me off. So I'm gonna try not to. But if you want to talk politics, let's do that. That's fine. Any question you have, I'll answer. That's cool. I'm semi joking when I say I'm gonna try not to. I'm gonna try not to go overboard, right? But I will definitely answer. Are there people connected to all market days and elements? If you want to be technical, we all are, but you can only be born on one day. You can only be born on one day, you know. But we're all connected. All of them, yeah. We're all. Don't think that just because you're an Uriya person that the only thing you can deal with is water, and so that's not really how it works. We're connected to what we're all connected to all of it, right? But it's just that's the door you came into creation with. That is the river that your boat used to enter creation. That is the river, and that river has significance as to why you're here. That river has significance as to why you're here. Okay, so yeah, but we're connected to all of them. I shut down my personal TikTok and I've been going back and forth about my business one. Yeah, that app is very, very toxic these days. It's unfortunate too because I think it's fun. I had a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun on it, but it's just kind of spiraling out of control. I don't, it's I don't know. I think I figured out why too. Like I was talking about on the last stream about how like pain, right? And I think that these social media sites have figured out that they have to piss you off a little bit to engage you more, and not just engage you more, make you make negative comments. It heightens the pain. There's an addictive nature to pain, right? There's an addictive nature to pain, and I think little cortisol spikes. That's what they try to do, right? That's what that is. It sears it into you a little bit more. You understand? That's why people like to get addicted to getting tattoos. You understand? People get addicted to all these things that have a pain element to them. So I think that's the strategy. I think that's why they like try to piss you off and put little negative toxic shit there and that kind of thing. So oh, can you explain birthmarks? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So birthmarks are taken very seriously in the ancestral tradition because, like I said, there are lines, there are writings all over your body that tell your story and beyond, tell your story and beyond, right? And the first clue is your poem, which extends all over. But that it doesn't end there. It also extends to different birthmarks, right? So they'll say certain birthmarks in certain places imply certain things. We have the same idea as the Westerners do about like beauty marks. They call them moles. Beauty marks, the wherever they show up, there's a significance to that. It's usually a place of high beauty or the place where that your chi is celebrating as far as in the creation of you. There is like I'm trying to think of some other birthmarks with significance. One of the things like from your previous life is you'll share birthmarks in your next life, right? Certain birthmarks will reappear. Here's another thing too. Certain marks that are not birthmarks, but they'll like life story marks, right? My uncle Kenneth was the passing of my uncle Kenneth was the first time I experienced death in my life, right? And he passed in probably 90. I was in Nigeria, it's like 95. And he reincarnated into my brother and two of my cousins in 97. And all of them ended up having a scar somewhere on their head, like that, like on one side or another on their head. One of them is a little bit more in the hair. My brother's is here. My other cousins is like up here somewhere. All of them have the same scar on their head. Everybody he reincarnated into, right? And it wasn't that they saw the scar on oh, that's my Uncle Kenneth. At birth, oh, that's, Day Kenneth has returned. Your Uncle Kenneth has returned. And then my brother got his scar when he was like 5. And I don't know when the other ones got it, but it's like, of course, later in life stuff, So stuff like that happens as well, right? Stuff like that happens well. But yeah, birthmarks super significant. You understand? Like, as I said, all warum madoka chia siekeya. It's each according to each person's work that their chi creates them, right? So the way you were created is not by accident. All of that tells a story. All of that tells a story that hasn't been read yet, right? That has not been read yet. Okay, that kind of thing. Like I didn't even give thought to this, but even the fact that all my gray hair just happens right here. A lot of you guys keep pointing that out. I don't pay attention. I keep somebody forget that it's there, right? I forget that it's there, but it's from my understanding, it's there for a reason, right? It's there for a reason. It's all a part of that akaraka, right? That kind of thing. So there's understanding your chi, but understanding your eke is the same thing as understanding your chi. Understanding your physical is another. It's the same thing, right? It's the same thing. Understanding the physical, you understand non-physical, vice versa, that kind of thing, right? There's an ilu that says "Mado chochia or fuonwea," which is when a person seeks their chi, they find themselves, and that you can interpret that however you interpret, right? So. Negativity boosts the algorithm. Absolutely. Yep. Rage baits, all the attention, good attention, rage forming, exactly. Exactly. Apparently, the rage baiting also plays in the brain association with rage, pain, pleasure. Exactly. That's what I mean with the searing. Right? They're trying to sear these things into you. So you can't just get stuff you like, something has to piss you off, right? And then that kind of thing. Right? The women on my mom's side has one dent on their. That's interesting. That's interesting. I love that Elu so much. Appreciate that, John. Me too. It's one of my favorite. If you hear me say an Elu, it's one of the ones I like, right? I have this book of Elu. And at first, the book used to piss me off because it doesn't like categorize them, it just lists them randomly. But I've found that for me, it's better to read them that way because it helps you bump into things you weren't looking for. And so I'll read them and I'll keep going. And then by the time I walk out, some of them stick to my head more than others. Some of them stick to my head more than others, and then from there, you hear me say them every now and then. That's one of them. So I'll give them. All I see on TikTok are chicks that look like Slimer from Ghostbusters telling me where the all right, Duran. Hey, I understand. Hey, you're lucky I read that slow. Ah, yeah, no, you'll see some whatever it takes, man. Whatever it takes. I started using Elu when talking to people now. He said, I don't know. I don't know what just happened, but yeah. So if you read things, I think the things fall apart, or maybe Achebe just uses this. Chinua Achebe explains that the mark of wisdom is a person who uses ilu while they speak, a person who uses proverbs when they speak. That's how wisdom is marked. Our ancestors see speech as an art form, and when you're reaching the higher levels of that art form, you use a lot of ilu when you speak. You understand? You use ilu when you speak. So yeah, yeah, you just that's a sign of wisdom. You're becoming wiser. So that's dope. Could algae be associated with snails? I wouldn't doubt it. I would not doubt it at all because there's this so in my community, snails are not really like we eat them. They're not a big deal. But there are some communities where you can't step on a snail, you can't eat a snail, whatever. And I want to go talk to them to understand more about the snail's role in Igbo cosmology because you don't really get that in mind. There's this artifact site called Igbo Uku, Igbo at Igbo Uku, a town Igbo Uku. Igbo Uku just means the big Igbo, right? And it's a town called Igbo Uku, and they found these artifacts from like they say it's 800. They say they're from like 800, 900 AD, and there's a lot of snails. I know that like when you look at it, it's like you see there's like a crying chuku. There's all these different things that if you know Odinani, you know what you're looking at. There's this map of Ete. There's a map of the cosmic web over the universe. There's a whole bunch of things that again, if you know Odinani, you know exactly. Oh, that's what that is. The python, all this stuff, and there's a lot of snails and grasshoppers. There's a lot of snails and grasshoppers. And I don't know too much about what the snail is in Udinani, so I would not doubt if it has something to do with alcohol, right? The tortoise has something to do with alcohol. The tortoise has a shell, it's slow, that kind of thing. But I'm not going to assume it's the same thing. There's also in the story of Agon, which is or not Agon, there's an Mbe the tortoise story where Mbe the tortoise goes into heaven, or why did I say heaven? Obi Chuku, right? Goes into Obi Chuku. Eligwe, right? Goes into the sky. And he goes there because the birds, okay, all the birds go to Obichuku and they come back and their stomachs are big and they're laughing and they're having a good time. And Mbe is like, what's going on over here? So Mbe goes to where they're at and he says, hey, what's going on? He's like, oh, we just came back from Obichuku and we feasted with Chuku and he fed all of us and that kind of thing. And there's food there for everybody and that kind of thing. So Mbe says, okay, can I come with you guys? I'm like, well, you can't fly. And so one of the birds goes, okay, you know what? We're gonna each give Mbe some of our feathers. So they all pluck their own feathers. They take snail. This is why I brought the story up. They take the slime of a snail and they cover Mbe and they start putting feathers all over his body. And so they start flapping, and then Umbe goes up to with them, and there's a song. So I don't know if you guys remember, I had this interview with Udochi. Udochi, I hope you're here. Udochi is the one that was making the cartoon, and the channel blew up. It blew up millions of views. It's doing incredible, right? And she made an amazing illustration of this story. And remember, we were talking earlier, like, what are the songs in Odinani? One of the songs is there. I'm going to actually find the video and post the link here. Hold on. One of this, Umota, Diota. I'm trying to remember what this song, Unudum. Yes. Okay, so there's the Igbo one, there's the English one. I don't know if, okay, with English subtitles. Okay, let's do that one. So this link here, I'm going to post this link here. You guys are talking about songs. This is a perfect song to learn, right? There's a song in the middle of it. So Mbe flies up to Obichuku, gets to Obichuku, and They explain to Mbe the rules in Obichuku, and the rules are that Chuku gives to everybody according to their name, right? And so Chuku comes out and asks everybody to say their name. So he'll give you the one that belongs to you as far as food. And Mbe says that his name is everybody. And so Chuku gives Mbe the one that belongs to everybody, which is everybody's food. And all the birds are watching Mbe as he's sitting there eating everybody's food. He's like, wow, you guys are right. This is good. You know, that kind of thing, scarfing it down. And they're like, nah, hell no. So they pick up Mbe, they rip their feathers off his body, and they throw him out of Obichuku. So Mbe comes spiraling down, falling. And Mbe yells out to his wife, run inside. I'm going to say it in English, run inside and get my mattress, right? Get my aqua, my sleeping blanket thing, my mattress, right? But she hears, go get me a stone, right? Which I think is supposed to make more sense in Igbo. And so she goes and gets a stone for him to land on, and he lands on the stone and cracks his shell. And this is why the tortoise has a cracked shell. And his wife puts his shell back together by using the snail from the slime from a snail and putting it all together. Now, why did I tell that story? Because every single detail in that story is extremely important, right? It's a story. You could listen to it as a child and it's like a fun story. But if you think about it, if you look at it with, how is this blurry? If you learn it with how to read the story uh, with a spiritual eye, you'll see a lot of what's going on, and it's way deeper than it seems. Right? It's way deeper than it seems. A lot can be interpreted from it. But the snail slime is used 2 times in that story. One to send him to Obichuku. Second to bring him back to normal. So but I don't know. I would have to start speaking to people in communities where snails are more important. Thank you for that question. Okay, we got that. Is there a okay? Okay, I'll do more. Is there any significance to squirrels and Odinani? I have some bones I want to use, but I'm not sure what energy they carry yet. It squirrels' bones. How did you find squirrels' bones? Um, not. I don't know. I don't know too much about squirrels as far as Odinani goes. You should be all right though. Are snakes good in Igbo culture? My son wants one as a pet, but only if it's positive. So pythons are generally seen as good. Pythons are seen as conducive and good. Pythons, vipers, the ones that bite, absolute no. That no, we don't. No, that's not good. Vipers get used symbolically to usually represent something bad or obstructive, that kind of thing, right? So pythons are generally seen as good, but use your own discernment because a snake is a reptile. It doesn't really give a damn about who its owner is and that kind of thing. I don't know if you've read that story or not read, but heard the story. And let me, anyways. Your son's gonna hate me. I mean, you've heard this story before. So there's this story where a woman gets a pet python and she sleeps every night and she realizes that the python likes to sleep next to her. So she wakes up every night, the python's a little closer and like lies straight like her, that kind of thing. And so she took the python to the vet. And I think this is a true story. And asked the vet, why does the python keep sleeping next to me? I think he likes to sleep next to me. Is it my body heat? And the vet laughed. He's like, no, he's sizing you up to eat you. Right. So like a snake will size something up, it'll lie next to it like, I think I can get that one. Then begin the process of trying to eat somebody. So, be discerning when buying pets. You don't have to get it just because the guy on YouTube said so. So, but a lot of people have pet pythons and they don't have an issue. Pythons are good as far as Odinani goes. Pythons are very, very good. In some communities, super good, like in my own. Yeah, Obanje come with spiritual gifts. Okay, Obanje Owa, Obanje Miri, Obanje. No, Aloe. They can hear serious spirits. Yes, yes, yes. The spiritual reality of an Obanje is very different from a human being. So they're seeing things you're not seeing. They're seeing things, Obanje are seeing things you're not seeing. I was taught that pythons are connected to ancestors, and if one finds a ball python in the house or compound, traditional speaking, to bring it back to the forest. Yes, 100%. Yeah, yeah. Michael, we have the same tradition at home as well. Big time, big time, big time. I think as far as the way I see it, right? And this is I got reasons for seeing it this way. I think snakes are or pythons are good conduits for ego more spirit mounting. And I think very often spirits can mount pythons and move about in the world and that kind of thing. And so different abara will move about as pythons, different ancestors will move about as pythons, they'll come in dreams as pythons, that kind of thing. Right. So, but pythons are a good thing. They're a good thing. Do you know anything about Palo? Not yet. Not yet. I've not started studying Palo yet, but I definitely will. I definitely will. Let me double check Palo. Dun, 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 dun. Nganga. Okay. Sacred Iron, Galdrian, Hers. Da, 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 da. Cool. So it seems that Palo is very Congo influenced, right? And it deals with Nganga. Nganga, I think, are spiritual healers. Well, here we go. Hold on. It centers on the Nganga, a sacred iron cauldron containing herbs, sticks, and human remains. Ew. Jesus Christ. Yo. No, I was kidding. But yeah, no, I haven't studied Palo. The as far as Nganga goes, that concept of Nganga, um, it carries into Igbo culture, though it's Congolese, it carries into Igbo culture because Aro people use the title Aro Ndi Jinganga or something like that, like Aro, the people who work with Nganga. And in the Congo, Ngangas are spiritual healers, right? The thing that's being described when I Googled Palo in and it talked about human remains are is a thing called okeite, okeite, right? Which is very diabolical. We don't deal with okeite in this place. So and that kind of thing. And I'm probably not gonna talk too much about okeite on my channel because honestly, it'll make people want to do it. Just from my experience, I've learned that people, hey, how could I get it? So I don't know. But okay, is very diabolical. And I don't think that Paulo, that is the sum total of Paulo. I think that's a very stupid post that they had on Google. But yeah. But I think it's called Okeite, the thing they're referring to. Paulo. Ndewo Creative Force. It broke in and had to eliminate. Why'd you say eliminate? It broke in and I had to eliminate it, but I didn't want to waste it. I understand. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. I'll do them. I'll do them. Ball pythons are a small species, docile, make good pets. Dope. I've seen some references to squirrel, uhuru, references to aghon, but no stories to explain why. Yeah, I don't know too much. I wouldn't be surprised. YouTube guy says no snakes. No, no, get a snake if you want. Get a snake if you want. Akachi Lamb. They work with Akachi Ndewo Nwanne. Ndewo. Odimma. Yeah, no, I don't know too much about Paulo, but I'm expanding my studies into other ones. So right now I'm studying Akom, which is Akan. And yeah, that's the Odimma. I had a Yaka Mbolu statue. that smelt like it had stayed many years next to rotting flesh and had been dug from the ground. It gave me a spiritual and physical infestation. Yeah, be careful. Be careful. Be careful. That's wild, though. That's very wild. I'm hoping you maybe got that under control or got rid of it. It's the only African piece I've given to a Urugu. What is a Urugu? What is a Urugu? Oh, okay. What does Urugu mean? African anthropologist. Okay, used by anthropologists. I need to describe the destructive nature of Europe. Okay. Oh. Okay, you don't need to explain which. I know what you just said. Oiba. Shit. Oh, yeah. No, I got you. I'll do more. Yeah, I'm seeing a book too. Interesting. There's just too much to read in this world, I swear. Because now I want to read that. Oh, very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah. Urugu. I might start using that term. Guys, I think are we out of questions or what's going on? You guys took it very easy on me today. I'm glad I was able to do this outside. This weather is amazing right now. All right, that's it. Okay, everybody, thank you guys for being here. We are starting our traditional medicine class very soon. We are starting our Igbo language classes very soon. So those of you who were in the previous session, as you're advancing, if you're Izumezu, send me a message. Otherwise, hurry up and reserve your seat. If you need time, also message me so I can hold it for you. You have to let me know, like, if you want me to reserve it, you have to let me know how long you need. Like, I need 2 weeks, I need a week, that kind of thing. Sure. I don't see any new ones, but I'm surprised. I'll do my, yeah. Yeah, otherwise, join the village, patreon.com/the medicine shell. I am looking forward to seeing you guys there. I am going to go to sleep. Those of you who have, a few people messaged me on Patreon, so I'm going to respond to you guys first, then I'm going to go to bed. That being said, uno gade, uno geto, nkobala, uno tiriaka, ogade nowa, ogade otwa neke, norie, na afọ na nkwo, he said. Take care, guys.